Imagine this. Earth is burning. Cities are flooding. Crops are failing. People are starving. And while all this is happening, a rocket launches into the sky, billions of dollars disappearing into the void of space. Sounds ridiculous, right? Why are we spending so much money flying robots to Mars when we can't even solve problems here on Earth? It's a question millions of people ask, and maybe you're one of them. So today, let's dig deep and ask, is space exploration truly a waste of money, or are we missing the bigger picture? At first glance, the numbers are shocking. The United States alone spends over $25 billion a year on NASA. That's enough to build thousands of schools, provide clean water to millions, or fund groundbreaking medical research. And then there are private companies, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and others, pouring in billions more to send rockets into orbit, land on the moon, and talk about colonizing Mars. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we're still fighting poverty, hunger, and climate change. It's easy to look at these missions and think, is this just a giant ego project? Are we building shiny rockets while ignoring the suffering right in front of us? But here's the truth. Space exploration isn't just about going to space. It's about what we bring back. Let's start with something most people don't realize. A massive amount of the technology we use every day exists because of space research. GPS, satellite TV, weather forecasting, Wi-Fi, even your smartphone's camera, all born from or accelerated by space technology. The push to explore the unknown has led to innovations in materials, medicine, clean energy, agriculture, and communication. In fact, the very reason we can track climate change, predict storms, and respond to disasters faster is because of satellites orbiting above us. Space isn't separate from Earth. It's one of the best tools we have to understand and protect it. Now let's talk about money, because that's where most arguments start. Critics often say, we're throwing money into space. But here's the thing. That money doesn't go into space. It stays right here, on Earth. It pays the salaries of scientists, engineers, technicians, software developers, welders, data analysts, and thousands of support staff. It fuels innovation across industries. It creates entire new sectors, like commercial spaceflight, asteroid mining, or satellite internet. For every dollar spent on NASA, the U.S. economy gains multiple dollars in return. And that's not theory. That's been proven by multiple studies. Space exploration is not an expense. It's an investment, one with long-term, multiplying returns. But let's be honest. Some parts of space exploration do seem over the top. Luxury space tourism, for example. Billionaires floating in zero gravity while the world burns below? It's a bad look. And it's understandable why that would feel like a waste. But here's where we need to separate the show from the science. Just because a few people are using space as a playground doesn't mean the entire effort should be dismissed. The real value lies in research, observation, and preparation for the future. Speaking of the future, let's talk about survival. Our planet is fragile. One asteroid, one supervolcano, one global pandemic, one nuclear war. That's all it would take to knock us back centuries, or worse. Space exploration isn't just about curiosity. It's about ensuring we have a plan B. It's about building technology that might one day allow us to live beyond Earth. Colonizing Mars isn't science fiction anymore. It's a developing goal. And even if we never permanently settle another planet, just the process of learning how to survive off Earth teaches us how to live more sustainably here. Think about it. To survive on Mars, we need to recycle everything: air, water, waste. We need energy that's clean, reliable, and portable. We need to grow food in harsh conditions. In other words, we need the exact technologies we're struggling to implement on Earth right now. Space exploration accelerates those solutions. And while we're talking about harsh conditions, think of space as the ultimate laboratory. Zero gravity, radiation, extreme cold and heat. Scientists are studying how the human body reacts, how diseases behave, and even how to manufacture materials that can't be made on Earth. Space offers a unique environment for breakthroughs that can transform healthcare, transportation, and energy systems right here at home. Now let's take a moment to think about perspective. In 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft turned around and took a photo of Earth from nearly 4 billion miles away. In that image, Earth appears as a tiny pale blue dot floating in the vast darkness. That photo changed the way millions of people saw the world. It reminded us how small we are, how fragile life is, how connected everything on this planet really is. That's the power of space exploration. It doesn't just give us new science or new technology, it gives us new perspective. It reminds us that we are one species on one planet sharing one future. But let's not get overly romantic. Let's face the hard question again. Why are we exploring space when people are still hungry? Here's the uncomfortable truth. We already have enough resources to solve hunger, poverty, and inequality. But the problem isn't lack of money. It's lack of will. Corruption, mismanagement, political agendas, those are the reasons people are still suffering. Taking money from space exploration won't magically fix that. It'll just slow down progress in another critical area. The real answer isn't either or. It's both. We can solve problems on Earth and invest in space. In fact, doing both together might be the smartest move we can make. Think about the moon landing in 1969. It wasn't just about reaching the moon. It was about uniting people. It was about proving what humans can achieve when we aim high. It ignited a generation of scientists, engineers, teachers, and dreamers. That kind of inspiration is priceless, and we need it now more than ever. Because today, we're at a crossroads. We can either shrink back, overwhelmed by Earth's problems, or we can rise to the challenge and push forward, not just for the thrill of discovery, but because the path to space might just be the path to saving Earth. Yes, we need accountability. Yes, we need to make sure space isn't just for the elite. Yes, we need international cooperation, not competition. But abandoning space because it costs money? That's like canceling school because it takes too long to get a job. Progress takes time. Exploration takes risk. And sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from the biggest dreams. So, is space exploration a waste of money? If you believe humanity should stop dreaming big, maybe. If you believe innovation only matters when it's cheap, maybe. If you believe the future isn't worth investing in, maybe. But if you believe we're capable of more, if you believe discovery leads to progress, if you believe science, imagination, and bold thinking can solve our biggest problems, then no. Space exploration isn't a waste of money. It might be the best investment we'll ever make. Thanks for watching. If this video made you think differently, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who still wonders why we look up at the stars. Because maybe, just maybe, the answers we're looking for are out there.